As you guys know, Jorge Masvidal is not happy with his current UFC contract and has been very vocal about the situation on social media. He refused to take the title fight against Kamaru Usman, which led the UFC to call up Gilbert Burns to take on Kamaru Usman at UFC 251 instead. Jorge Masvidal recently sent out a message to the fighters who haven't taken the fighter's side and put them on blast. He posted this on his Twitter saying, "I already explained why I signed a new deal. It's either take it or leave it and not get paid. I would have signed another deal if it was done in good faith. He called me night before he wants to announce and tell me take it or leave it. That's not negotiating, that's strong arming." He followed up with, "And for the white knights that have commentating jobs with the UFC that say just fight, you guys should be embarrassed to call yourself current/former fighters. Not one of you been doing it as long as me and like me. There's a reason you are commentating." He ended it off with, "I'm trying to get paid, not played. Why are we here now?" According to a report by BJPenn.com, a featherweight bout between Zabit Magomedsharipov versus Yair Rodriguez has been targeted for 29th of August. Zabit Magomedsharipov is coming off a unanimous decision win over Calvin Kattar, and Yair Rodriguez is coming off a unanimous decision win over Jeremy Stephens. In a recent interview with SportsCenter, Alexander Volkanovski says that he wants to finish Max Holloway at UFC 251.
Straight after the fight, I was like, all respect to Max. He was a great champion. He deserves a rematch. I watched back the tape. It was a pretty convincing, dominant win. I believe I won all 5 rounds, and I did win all 5 rounds. So we started thinking, is the rematch an option? And then, people quickly forget of what I've done. I took out 3 of the greats back to back, beat them at their own games. You know what I mean? It's not an easy task, but people quickly forget that. Whether it's biased opinions or whatever it is, biased commentary, people quickly forget about it, and people think he can take me out. So right now, this is a fight that I want. Even though I started thinking, is the rematch what needs to happen? I told myself, I want this. I think this is the biggest fight for me. I've got something to prove. I really do have something to prove. I'm a little upset. I feel a little disrespected how things have been. But that just makes me. It's motivation. It really is. I'm motivated right now. I've got something to prove. You know what I mean? This is I'm putting him away. That's what I'm going to do. I've beat him 5 rounds to 0 last fight. I know I can outsmart him. I know I can outvolume. But a lot of people think he can't be finished. That's my goal now. I'm going to go set a real statement. Take out Max Holloway, finish him inside the 5, and let everyone know. No doubts. I won't have Max Holloway, thinking he won the fight or whatever it is. Biased opinions. I'm not going to give anyone the chance to have any of that. I'm just going to take him out in the 5 rounds, and that's it. No doubt in anyone's mind, I'll be the greatest featherweight there is today, and it won't be long after that. After a few defenses, I'll be the greatest featherweight of all time.
Michael Bisping on the Believe in Me podcast speaks on a potential fight between Cody Garbrandt versus Sean OMalley.
So what happens is OMalley, he's doing a little video at home. He's got one of those bobs, the face on the, a striking dummy. And he goes, "Okay, guys, 2 great knockouts at the weekend. Let me walk you through it." And he's like, "I did this, I did a switch stance, I threw a spinning wheel kick, and I did that, blah, 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 blah. And then I finished with the straight shot." And it was a great knockout. He said, "We also had Cody Garbrandt." He's like, "How did he do it? How did he do it? How did he do it? Oh yeah. Whoa!" And then he just swings like a massive haymaker. And he's like, "You make your mind up which was better." So do we have that video, please? Because listen, I get what he's doing. He's trolling Cody Garbrandt big time here, and I'm looking forward to seeing a response from Cody, because they're both in the same weight class. That could be a future matchup, and you never know. We might see it, because you got to remember, first of all, it would be a big step up in competition, but that's the way it goes, right? So that's not a knock on OMalley. You work your way up, but I respect the fact that he's talking that level of to Cody, because obviously he knows they're the same weight class. They both just won at the weekend, and there's a very good chance that they get matched up, and Cody could make him eat his words. But obviously that's what he's looking for. That's what he's trying to do. I'm assuming there's a reason why he did this. He's trying to get the fight against Cody. And as I say, you got to commend that. You got to commend his courage, his balls, his fighting spirit, and his level of trash talking, because that was funny. But you never know. I think they could make that matchup, as you say, kind of a step back in terms of ranking. But OMalley really is, he's got a lot of momentum around him right now. A lot of people are talking about him. And, if Cody comes back, he just knocked out Sun Tzu, who was like a perennial contender. Then he was to get the job done against someone like OMalley. He's like, okay, he's almost ready for a title shot again. He's back. He's eradicated that 3-fight losing streak. So, and for Sean OMalley on the flip side, he beat a former champion. You know, a guy that's, I'm not sure where Cody's ranked, I think number 5 right now. That'd be a huge win for O'Malley, by far his biggest win to date. So yeah, I really like it.
At UFC On ESPN 10, Jessica lost to Cynthia Calvillo via unanimous decision. After the fight, she posted this on her Instagram saying, "I am never ashamed of myself no matter what the outcome is in a fight in the octagon. I am beyond thankful for every moment that I have, whether it's good or bad. I am grateful for the support and even more for the critical that seem to have just nothing better to do but to be a menace. Thank you at UFC." Cynthia Calvillo commented on the post saying, "Thanks for the battle, you'll be back." At the UFC On ESPN 10 post-fight press conference, she spoke about her performance.
I felt good. I mean, I'm always a little bit hard on myself because I want to get the finish, but I got to remind myself that I just took out the #1 contender in the flyweight division, so I guess I should feel great, but I want that finish next time. I understand I had a really short camp, but we're gonna get it done next time. It was just really weird, and especially because it was a 5th round fight, and so it took me a little while to just really get warmed up there, really get my feet going. I felt like I was a little slow. I was kind of going her pace, and I was like, man, I you know, at the end of the day, like, I need to, yeah, I moved up to flyweight, but I need to move my feet like I was a strawweight. I know I'm quick on my feet, so I needed to get my feet going a little bit more. So, yeah, the first round was a little bit slow, but I also knew that I'd get stronger as the rounds go. I know I was like winning the fights, but you never know with the judges. I know that her and her team were trying to sell it to the judges in between rounds, but I mean, you're not gonna fool anyone. I think it's just like, it just sucks because you must have the wrong people around you. They should tell you, like, if you're not winning the fight, they should tell you you're not, so you can push harder. You know, they should not be giving her that false confidence. You know, I feel like she did a lot of wrong things, and I don't think she deserved to you know, I didn't think she would have deserved to be the winner tonight. I already knew what her coaches were yelling in between rounds, because even some of the combinations I used to, like, I actually know some of them. So they were just trying to put on a show for the judges. I'm glad that they've seen through the bull. Considering everything that was going on, I mean, I think that this is a division that I belong. I'm gonna be able to, you know, pick up my strength a little bit more. I barely got to train for this and even got prepared. I was in the middle of training, switching gyms when this pandemic hit, and I'm extremely proud that, you know, the fighter in me was able to pull this out, because this is not even the best me that you guys have seen. Like, that's yet to come. Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm just trying to stay busy. So whatever fight, whoever, you know, I gotta go get an MRI done. Just make sure I'm good to go. But as soon as I'm cleared, you know, we're ready to line the next one up.
Here's what Dana White had to say about Cynthia Calvillo's win over Jessica Eye.
She looked great tonight. You know, she fought the perfect fight. I think that stand-up looked good, her round game looked good. Going into the 5th round, she stood, didn't sit on the stool, had a strong 5th round. She looked good. Her first 5-round fight, and yeah, she looked good. Listen, if you beat the #1 contender, you know, look at Gilbert Burns. Just happened to him. You know, when you beat #1, yeah.
And Kamaru Usman, in a recent Instagram live stream with Luke Belair, speaks on what goes through his mind when he enters the octagon.
It's a matter. It's a collective thought process of trust that I've got the adequate preparation, trust in that, trust in my coaches, and also trust in my abilities. And so by the time before I cross in there, because there's two different, you have to be able to flip the switch on and flip it off. I can't walk around the world being the savage that I am inside the cage. And so that switch is off. I've prepared, I trusted my preparation. And then once I crossed that barrier inside that cage, I turn into the Nigerian Nightmare. And at that point, that's when it's savage. I'm ready to die in there. And anyone's ever seen my fights, they'll see it moments before I walk in. I kind of take a moment right there before I cross that barrier. I pray for myself, for my safety, and as well as my opponent's safety. And then I cross that barrier and they see the change.